And we're back. Apparently. Let's see if this works this time. No, for whatever reason, again, my computer seems to be not wanting to play, which is incredibly frustrating. This was the same thing that was happening before. It seems to be repeating on itself. Not only have I got Google Earth that's playing up and not messing, now it seems that this isn't working for some reason. Morning, the ham. Yes, I'm back. Are you still seeing this repeating screen? Because this should not be happening. Should not be happening. And that's really frustrating because now I won't be able to present what I was going to present. Damn it. Multi-screenness. Maybe it's because I'm watching my own video, So let me minimize this and see whether or not you can see this image. Guys, let me know if this is repeating so that if it isn't, I can present what I need to. Yeah, that looks good to me. Right, guys, looks like we're in some business now. I should be able to show you what I found, which is incredibly interesting. Just wait for a couple more people to join and then I'll show you what's what. Who've we got here? Shane Carless, nice to see you in. John Watson, oi oi. Sarah Christina, yeah, you're back and you're wrenched up. The ham. There we go. Anyway, where's my images gone? Yeah, look at this. You all see this image? It was from a slightly nearer location, but much higher up. And we get to see what Barrow and Furness looks like. And can you see this sand dune running around? And this hump here on the sand dune. I'm going to show you in one of the images from 1 foot. So here we have that sand dune. There's the hump in front of the building. I am in a slightly different location, so the angle's slightly different. This is from the 1 foot elevation, obviously. This is the rooftops of this building here. See these jaggedy rooftops? And there's the buildings. There's that sand dune. So anybody that says we can't see sand dune to sand dune or beach to beach, well, there we go. Have some of that, boys and girls. There we go. There's that sand dune. I've also got an additional find, which is this building here. In front of it, we have this anomaly that shows up in most images. In fact, all the images, actually. And I found out what that is as well. It's show you on here. Here we go. It's this rock in the water. It's just that we're at a slightly different angle. We're looking at it from a different direction, which is why the steeple is on the other side of the clock tower. And obviously you can see this building and how it's designed. This rock is in the foreground of that building, and that's what we see in the images. It's just absolutely sensational stuff. From a foot, bearing in mind, a foot in elevation. Look at it. There it is. It's on all the images, actually. And yeah, I just wanted to show you this sand dune. I mean, look at this. Just perfect. Yeah. Loads more of this where this is coming from. Oh, you were first, were you, Nathan? Nice to see you. I was trying to show you this before, actually. Was this this sand dune in the way? I don't know if you caught the early part of that, but it's just, I mean, this is just a gift that keeps on giving, really. From a foot in elevation, it's sensational. What was I going to say to you? TFR Friday, well, not TFR Friday, TFR, the radio station. They want me to appear on it today, this morning. I was wondering, perhaps you and Anthony would like to join. I think they want me to go on about 10:30, so that'll be to that radio station in America. I think last time that we were on, there was about 3,000 viewers or listeners. Yeah, the sand parallax with the higher shots. Yeah, I've got it on Google Earth. I've sort of like done the, I'll hide that actually. This is the parallax issue. This is where I took the image from, which shows the sand dune in its clarity, which is this image here. So let's go back a couple of frames. I don't think it's on this one. Yeah, so these set of images were taken from basically this location here, and then the 1 foot elevation images were taken from here. So it parallaxes everything. So basically, when we come to this church and the steeple, which is here, there's the steeple and there's the church. They're actually flipped on the other side of each other, and that rock that's in the water and the sand dune and everything else that's in the way is flipped around slightly. So that's why on this image where it's nice and clear on this day, and this is another thing I wanted to say actually on the video. This is the video, right? Go back to the start. So let's just, I'm showing you where I am on this video. It's not that one. No, that's, there we go. Seawall. So in Blackpool, we have a seawall that goes around because it's, it's obviously right on the coast, but so is Barrow. And this seawall, it has to be man-made, and it's there to protect us from being swamped basically by the incoming tide. Now, the difference with Barrow is that they have natural barriers, and that's these sand dunes that run around the entire coastline. So you can see that basically it's their fortress, their walls that are going around it, and the buildings themselves are set behind the sand dune. So if you look at this building, for instance, here, and these buildings here, they're actually, you're only seeing part of them because they're obscured behind the actual sand dune. And this is their sea wall basically. And if we go across a bit further, you can see that this is their sea wall as it goes along. In fact, the lighthouse, for instance, you should only ever see this portion of the lighthouse anyway, because the natural defenses of the Barrow furnace, this sand dune, is obscuring you from seeing it. You would never see it anyway. And also, we do actually see evidence in the video of it tapering off here and dropping down, just as we expect to see it. But this rock was sensational. I don't know if I showed you the rock last night, Nathan. I might have showed it you. But yeah, to find it in the image was just brilliant. There it is. And there's the sand dune. So, and that's what all this is here. This bottom stuff, this kind of fuzzy stuff, that's just the sand dune. And then it goes up, comes down, comes along, and then it tapers off. So, do you want to appear on TFI Friday? TFI, sorry, TFI Friday. I can't. I'm busy all morning from 10. Sorry, right? Okay, damn. I'd have loved to join you on TFR. Total bummer. Riley can't make it either, apparently. Right, why can't Riley make it? Interesting. I guess I'll have to do it solo then. I have to hold the fort down for everybody. can't make it either, apparently. Okay. Oh, this is something else. You know, when we were talking about where the buildings start to part due to the refraction zone, and it was pointed out yesterday by Arwin. We actually do see it in the very, very first image. You can see these two windows. Those two higher windows there are a refraction of the real windows underneath. And so the refraction actually starts here. And I can prove that with not only, this is the image, where are we? Here, right? So this is the image that we look at. It only has two windows, essentially. And then it has the rooftop, obviously, and it has this nice little relief on the middle part of the building. But when we go to this image here, so this is where it's repeating on itself already, but we get to see that much clearer in a couple of images later on. And Arwin was quite correct with what he said. So I'll just show you that. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. This is where it's starting. This is where the roof is starting to reverse on itself. And you can see that it's starting to take effect here. This building, it's starting to turn upside down, and here, all across there. So where it starts here, everything above that is starting to refract the stuff underneath it and mirror it. This is the next image, is even clearer. You can see that the roof it's kind of breaking apart. But again, everything underneath it stays fine. So we are actually underneath the refraction zone here. I mean, there's the sand dune, still not affected. I mean, I never thought we could actually get underneath the refraction zone, but apparently we can. And that kind of just blows the ball apart, because there's no return for them over this. This takes all their ballness away, all their curve, all their refraction, all that metabunk crap. This destroys all that. I mean, you can see how flat the water is. I mean, look at this. I'm at a foot in elevation here, looking across, what, 14 miles of water. And it is flat. There isn't any curve there. There's no bulge. If there was, you wouldn't see this sand dune. Just sensational. I love it. Can't get enough of it. It is so cool. It is, Nathan. It really is. I'm loving it. I'm hoping to go back and try and repeat this observation, because I know that Anthony's done it, obviously, from St. Bees, and I've obviously done it now. It's how often it can be repeated, and, you know, is it under certain conditions that it allows you to do this? You know, obviously it must be still flat water, apparently. It is so cool. Don't forget to like. I'm actually going to like my own video. I'm going to be the first one. Yeah, oh, I found the chimneys as well. Oh, and I found those buildings. Right, look at this. I'm going to show you the buildings. Wait till you see this. You know those two buildings on the right hand side that I say are repeated? Hang on, let me show you where I mean. These buildings here, or it is actually just one building, and I found it. I'm going to show it you. It's actually here by this roundabout. I'm just going to place myself opposite it so you can see. You can see what it looks like. Let me maneuver into the position. There we go. So this is the building, and there's the other side to it. There's the windows. You can see all these windows panning along. If we show you in the image itself, actually, you can't see it on that one. I'll show you on a different one. This one. No. Where is it? I know where I'll show it you. Here. There we go. Now you can see all these windows coming across, and you can see that extra side to it. You can actually see part of the, there's something on the roof there as well. But obviously in Google Earth, you're looking up to it. So there's the thing on the roof. There's the side to it. These are the windows. 1, 2, 3 sections of windows. 1, 2, 3 sections of windows, and then obviously all the rest of the building, which is down here, is below the sand dune, the protective wall that goes around this piece of land. It's natural barrier. It has to be there. It's its own seawall, so you can't see through it because it's protecting you from the water. And this is exactly what we see in the image from 1 foot. This design of the building, you actually see it on here. This side going down, part of the roof, and the rock in front. Whee! Shared. A purpose-built bendy building. Yeah, it is actually. It is kind of like a purpose-built bendy building. It's kind of arched on it. It's like a design feature, I should imagine. I don't know what it's called, actually. A dental practice, did it say? I think it's a dental practice. I can't see it, actually. Can't make it out. Or it might be a medical centre, actually. Medical care. Not too sure. But yeah, that's the building. And this is obviously the building in front of me, exit street view. I think that's the building as well that's in the foreground. They're obviously higher. And you can see it's right next to the water here. This is the little estuary where they repair the boats and stuff, and make them, send them out. All low-lying stuff. All low-lying stuff. Like to see them try and debunk the sand dune, which is here. I mean, this is the best part. I mean, this is such an obvious terrain feature. I mean, you can't not be impressed by seeing it in this image and the other one. And just because we're in a different line of sight, we do actually still see it in here. Sensational. And there it is. Whee! Just excited because this is the additional floaty land. This is the take your pick land. Take your pick, boys and girls. Which one do you want? The low-lying stuff or the... I actually think that is the 150-foot hill, or part of this mountain in the background. And I believe that probably this other stuff is just the sand dunes in the foreground, same as this. Same as these sand dunes in the foreground here. Because I think you see that on Google Earth too. If we scroll in, you do get a... I believe that's the humpy part. Might be wrong. But this is all the sand dunes here. It's all low-lying stuff. 20 feet. 20 feet. And what's the distance to this? I mean, it's quite a way. We're looking at 13 miles. Something like that. 13 and a third miles. I mean, I don't think there is no... On Ball Earth, there's no explanation for this. It's just as simple as that. There is no explanation for this on Ball Earth. Yeah, it is down to the shoreline. And they've always said, how come you can never see shoreline to shoreline? Go down to the beach, look across an expanse of land, 10, 15 miles, and then see the shoreline. Well, we are seeing the shoreline here. We're seeing that sandbank here. I mean, it's just incredible. Incredible. And I'm just lucky to have been in the right spot at the right time. Simple as that. How far should the curve be on this? Let's have a look, shall we? Google Earth, Google. Have a look at the curvature calculator, and we'll check that actually. So looking at those sand dunes, I just put a distance of 13.3 miles in, and the viewer height was a foot. So a hidden, well, drop. I mean, I don't know why we shouldn't use drop. I mean, a foot off the ground is pretty much just straight drop, but we'll play with their math if we like, and we'll just go to the hidden. 97 feet should be hidden, and those sand dunes are 20 feet high. So that's the curve calcs for that. For the clock, I think it's 18 miles. Hidden is 187 feet. The drop is 216. The building itself is only 150 foot tall. So let's have a look at the building on here. So this clock is 150 foot tall. There's a clock face. There's the buildings in front of it. There's the buildings that I showed you. But the curvature calculator says that from my elevation, where my cursor is now, this is where the curve of the Earth should be. Basically, this water should have humped up enough that I'm not able to see any of this terrain here. In fact, this clock tower would be gone. So that is the ball Earth math. What's interesting, Nathan, I actually found another video. I moved back ever so slightly. This was the 3701. And the next video I take, I'll show you now. I actually move probably about 15 paces back from where I originally was, simply to try and capture the lighthouse, because it was being obscured by a post that was in the way. And I'm actually standing up now. So I'm going to estimate my elevation here is probably about 6.5 foot. But what we see is, as I'm zooming into this, to the lighthouse, I'm trying to obviously focus on it, because this post was in my way before, and the lighthouse was directly behind it from where I was. So I've moved position now, and what you see is this refraction zone all the way through the image, everything. That building is clearly refracting this. So the refraction zone is here, and you can see that where the lighthouse is, again, bending up on itself, same as everything on this image. Watch this video. You'll see everything is starting to refract up on itself. That's clear there. I mean, you know that this building only has 2 windows on the side, and as Arwin clearly pointed out, this is the refraction zone. You can see the white line going through here and breaking apart the side of this mountain. So that's the refraction zone here. So by elevating myself to 7 feet as opposed to 1, this is what we're seeing. And this is what the balls have always said up till now, is that it's refracting down. And that's the top of the building, and this is the curve of the Earth. All this is the curve of the Earth. And that's what they've always said. Curve of the Earth. Thanks for showing the curve. But simply, oh, look at that. What is that, everybody? Even from 7 feet. That's very interesting. Okay, where is it gone? There we go. The RNLI lifeboat station. Have a look at that. Sitting in the water. Nathan loves that. I'll show you the curve calcs for this in a minute, and I'll show you the distance. So I'll put, there was the observation. Well, actually, it was a fraction away from that. So I don't want to really be messing this up, because it's such sensational evidence. All right, let's have a look. Nice. Now this has crashed. Yeah, it's odd, Nathan. This has been happening quite a lot. Google Earth doesn't want to work for me. My computer's been messing. What's going on here? I never click circle. Yeah, this is very odd behaviour from my PC. Anyway, so the RNLI station is right down here, and move it up a tad. So nearly 15 miles away, 14.7 miles away to the RNLI lifeboat station, which is there. And we're seeing it from 7 feet. Obviously, it's through the refraction zone, but it's still below the refraction zone. If you remember, the building's further back. This building is being refracted here, and the lifeboat station is only so high, so it's beneath the refraction zone. This is me just showing you my location again. There we go. There it is. There's that RNLI lifeboat station. If you take a look at the features on it, you've got this arched building with an entranceway here. And let me put that in actually and show you what it looks like. Barrow and Furness lifeboat station. I'll show you the images for that. Yeah, just look at that. It's exactly what we see. The curved roof and the square opening to the building. Yeah, just brilliant stuff. That's it. Who else have we got in? Let's see. Oh, Jamie Brown. Nice to see you in, buddy. I haven't spoken to you for a while. John Watson. Anyone can look across 20 miles of water and see opposite coastline. I do every day across the Bristol Channel to Wales without any camera zoom, weather permitting. Yep, indeed. And that's the thing, you see, in order for the ball to work, the water has to bend. There has to be a bulge on the water. That, you know, you can have flat land, but you can't have flat water. It's that doesn't conform to their mathematics. Their mathematics have to have the water curving to gravity. So water has to curve. Land can be flat, but water cannot be. There has to be some kind of bulge or drop, and that's why it's, you know, disproving that in itself is all we need to do. If we disprove that the water does not bend and is flat, and I think that's why FE Core and stuff are doing a lot of observations over lakes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think we're crushing it, guys. Yeah, either the math is wrong or it's not a ball. Exactly. For me, it's a case of it's not a ball. What it is, who knows? Could be anything. But it's certainly not a ball, and then we all know that through the NASA stuff anyway. You know, I mean, NASA is a joke, the stuff they put out. And it does not rotate. Yeah, it certainly doesn't. I mean, again, are you seeing effects of any kind of rotation on this? You know, I mean, if I go to the video is so, the water is so stationary. If we were spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, I'm sure we would see more effect than this. I mean, even the boat is cresting across the water. You know, I mean, it's just breaking the water. You can actually see the nose coat. You know, these type of boats, they have like a nose at the bottom of them. You know, the hull comes around and then it pokes forward to break the water underneath the water. And you actually see, obviously this boat isn't laden down, so the ballast is quite high on it, but you can see where it's breaking the water. You can actually see it breaking the water. Me lowering to 1 foot in elevation. Hopefully I'll see the boat again in a second. Have a look at that. It was a bit difficult trying to focus on this day as well. I mean, the camera's good for distance. I'll focus on that. Well, essentially, you can still see the same thing. You can see the nose cone of it from a foot. Now, my field of view is quite small from such a low elevation. So, if you imagine you're an ant on a table, you probably wouldn't see the end of the table because your field of view, because you're so low to the ground, you shouldn't have a field of view more than a mile or mile and a half, perhaps. So, from a foot in elevation, my field of view should have been very small, and yet, look at what we're seeing, guys. You know, there we go. There's the boat. Look at that. Absolutely crystal clear, breaking the water. You can actually see the waves on the boat as it breaks into it. Look at that. If anyone wants this video, by the way, they just need to send me a message and I will send it them. I'll send them the images as well. So the same speed, just less distance to travel, indeed. We've got a few more people in, which is good. 15 watching, that's not too bad. I might present some of this stuff again. This was from a different location, just slightly up the. Show you actually here. I'll save that actually. It's quite interesting to have that. So slightly up the coast, from just a different elevation. So I was on the sea wall here. This is the GPS coordinates on the image. Places me here. I was probably about 50 feet or so above the water at the time when I took the image. So, and also obviously because I'm at a different location down the coast, you know, buildings are swapped around as such. So like this very obvious sand dune, this hump, because I'm further down the coast and slightly to the left, would then place this sand dune in front of this building. It's just how it works optically. And what we find is that from the 1 foot elevation is this exactly what we see. This is the sand dune in front of the building, as we would expect. And the refraction zone is starting just here, which is starting to mirror. This part of the building isn't real. This stuff up here isn't real. This is real, this lower part, and that one isn't. I can show you on the image, because that's how the design of the building is. We've got the 2 windows on the side, and we've got these corrugated iron roofs, or it would appear something like that, and then the sand dune here. Obviously, I'm slightly different angle, so, but this is what you would see. It's only got 2 windows on the side. And this is exactly what we're seeing. The 2 windows on the side are here. There's a corrugated iron underneath. There's the roof. So that's where it's breaking apart, and it's evident clearly in some of the later images. You can see it much more clearly. I'll show you now. Let me just scroll through to a few of them and I'll show you. I actually thought that was Anthony Riley when I look back. I mean, it does look like him, but it's not. Yeah, here we go. So this is just a few shots further down the line, and you can see that the roof is indeed breaking off here, and you can see that this is refracting up. This is refracting up. You no longer see these windows, which would have been here, because that isn't part of the building. This is all fake. All this is fake. That's not real. And you can see where the mountain in the background, you see the nose pointing out here, and it arches back on itself. That's where the refraction zone's starting here, and it's evident throughout the entire image across here. If we go back a couple of images, you'll also see it on the clock face above. You see the clock face is repeating on itself, actually being stretched up. Same with the spire in the background, but this building in the near ground and this rock, I love it. This rock is gonna plague you ballers. This rock is evident in some still shots taken from a slightly nearer position. Let me just show you. Here we go. There we go. There's that bad boy. There it is. And because I'm slightly further down the coast, and the angle of sight would place this rock in front of this building, and that's why this church spire just appears to the left-hand side of the clock tower. So, yeah, I mean, we're actually seeing this rock in front of the building in the images. And there she is. There's that rock. And it's not just in this image, it's in all the other images too. And I just wanted to show you the terrain as well, essentially, because, you know, Blackpool has its own sea wall going around it, and Barrow does too, except Barrow's is natural. This is the sand dunes that go around it. This is all sand dune. Sand dune. You'd never see the base of the lighthouse here, and the little building that goes with it. That's actually a house on the other side of it, part of the, you know, the master's quarters to the building, and you can't see it. And the reason you can't see it is because it has its own natural wall in front, which is the sand dunes. So they're the sand defences. Go further along, again, you're still seeing this sand dune go across. And the buildings are behind it. The bottoms of the buildings are behind the sand dune. The bottom of this crane is behind this sand dune. You can't see it. This sand dune again is protecting these houses. You can't see the bottom of the houses. If the sand dune wasn't in the way, you would see it. Same here. And luckily for us, this sand dune is very prominent, and the fact I was able to capture it from 1 foot in elevation, brilliant. Corrugated iron roofs. Sand dune. And this is what I was going to show you. You know, the extra land that we see, the floaty land to the left? You know, this is what I suspect it probably is, this floaty land here. I think I'll go further across actually and show it again. Maybe I don't. But yeah, we're seeing down to the ground, the floor. There's the sand dune. So next time a bowler says, "Oh, you can't see to the floor," yes, we can. You just need to get under the refraction zone. That's all it is. Did anyone see Matrix Decode deleted most of his vids? No. Most of the scammer channels only have ballers who watch them. Yeah. In place after 2 years. So, Matrix Decode, what videos did he get rid of, Jamie? Impressive. Sure is, Ryan. Sure is. Oh, so I'll be going on TFR later. So if you've heard of that, the radio station in America, I think Nathan, myself, and the QED team were on it before. They want me to have a little chat about this. So I'll be doing that around about 10:30. Time are we now? 9:10. Oh, I better save my voice, I think. Right, guys, that's all I wanted to show you. Just the, the additional stuff, the sand dune, the rock. Yeah, just awesome. Get beneath that refraction zone, people. West Coast Wisdom, cool. Say hi to them. Yeah, I will do. I'll try and plug a couple of people, see if we can get a few more subs on the way. Be nice to reach a bigger audience. Right, guys, I'm going to end the broadcast now, and I'll probably see you later. Actually, no, I won't see you later. It'll probably be tomorrow now. Right, guys, speak to you again.